Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder, and welcome to the fourth First Impressions. And today we're looking at the Sovetsky Soyuz, rank 7, battle rating 8.7. It's in the tech tree coming after the Arkhangelsk, and that's the very left lane. And this ship, and I show you only this battle with barely any edits, it just reflects the whole soul of this ship. It's absolutely perfection to a point where it's absolutely boring. And if you like to be superior, then this ship can give you a really good go at it. If you really are into trying to get the feel of World War battleships, of really fighting it out, trying to do the little maneuvers to enhance your survivability, to really try to get your super fighting turret covered with the front turret, you know, between the salvos, hiding your rear turret, trying to not be HE-blapped and so forth. You know, with this ship, it doesn't matter. You just angle in at spawn and just hurl the shells at the enemy. Basically, our penetration, go for it. While you have basically the most perfect armor that there is. That's it. That you don't have the best AA, does it really matter? That you don't have the most exciting secondary batteries, although still pretty good, does it really matter? That you don't have HE, does it really matter? That you don't have radar, does it really matter? That you don't have really fast target acquisition of the lead indicator. Does it really matter if you have played so much to really have the ship researched by playing for it? So this ship just embodies the bare minimum, but in perfection. Really powerful, big guns, lots of armor, and basically that's it. And so there is a whole discussion going in. If this is Russian bias, if this ship kind of destroys naval forces, ruining the patch and so forth. And I'm looking forward for the discussion in the comment section. And I myself have gone to great lengths to let there be a bit of dripping of sarcasm here and there when talking about how well balanced the ship is. And there is much to discuss. I'll show you later with a lot of screenshots and so forth. But ultimately, yeah, we have to deal with it. It's the way it is. Before I go any further, going to the detail why the ship might be posing such a problem for other ships, let me just quickly remind you that I tried to get my decal into War Thunder and on my Discord server, to which you will find the invitation link in the video description down below. You can vote which kind of decal you would prefer, and there is also the chance, if you like to draw and you're really good at it and you have just the perfect idea for a decal for me instead of the ones that I have there for voting, then you can enter it and we can have a vote on this as well. And again, one of the requirements for getting into the Gaijin Content Partnership Program is to have many videos with lots and lots of views. And so far my videos have done exceptionally better than previous videos. This has to do with me talking to many people and just really bringing home the point that I really want to go for my decal in War Thunder, but also, and this is also a point reaching into the video topic itself, we have all the big name battleships with this patch. This is it. After this, there will be some super ships, probably some more designs or projects, but this is the patch. And so a lot of people are interested in what are the ships like, and this is where I try to give as much information as possible, if a ship is worth it or not, what's the strength, what's the weakness. And we'll talk about this ship in particular as well in just a moment. So please subscribe, like the video, hit the bell, give as much action with this video as possible, share it with your friends, clan members, and who else you want to annoy with links. And I'm really thankful for the support and the nice words and the nice comments in the past few days, it really flared up the fire of the Napalmratte again. So the Sovetsky Soyuz. So now we have to talk about the armor so that we can understand why the ship is just so good. And let's start with the main armor belt, and we have basically a 380 millimeter belt that is huge. Huge parts are above the waterline and huge parts are below the waterline, where other nations' designs actually go a bit thinner below the waterline. This ship just doesn't care. Then it goes a bit thinner, 375 over the machinery, and then on the front end of the ship, where the front firing group is, we go to 390 millimeters, 406 millimeters, and then finally on the edge to 420 millimeters below the front turret. And after this comes a massive half icebreaker of 220 millimeters, with this bulkhead in the front having 285 millimeters, and then the massive one plate bulkhead in front of the front turret is 203 millimeters. That's relatively thin, but with all the additional armor in front of it, shells just either penetrate the half icebreaker and then prematurely detonate, or lose so much penetration, and they have to deal with different angles that you can really aggressively angle the ship. Also, if you angle the ship, especially on the US standards, you see that the last belt plating and the bulkhead are not at a 90 degree, but it is a significantly larger degree, like 110 degrees almost, and that means that where the frontal firing group is on the US standard ships with their all or nothing armor scheme, that's a weak spot. Here the designers were genius because they simply made the plate thicker, 420 millimeters, so you can angle it quite drastically. And that comes then with basically a triple deck. At the very top it's 25 millimeters. Then actually very high above the waterline we have the main deck plating with 6.1 inch or 155 millimeters, and then the splinter deck below this is still 50 millimeters thick. And then we come to the barbette, which is all around 425 millimeters thick. That's really quite something, right? And the turret faces are 495 millimeters thick at a 30 degrees constructional armor slope angle. And yeah, there are also some various different other armor plating within the turret and so forth that make life really interesting. So this is really tough if this ship angles, and the firing angles of the rear turret, which is already I think it's almost as high as the front super firing turret, so the firing angles are quite nice. And yeah, this ship is really tough. Then we do not have all that much superstructure. We have the secondaries in also quite a bit of armor, so that it doesn't die with pure HE spam. And so this ship then gets really tough. I have not been magazine detonated once, but this also has to do with this, and that is that on the X-ray you can see that the shells or the magazine is tiny. You have as much ammunition as the Yamato, 900 rounds, but it's like a TARDIS Soviet system. Like it's bigger on the inside than it looks from the outside. It's pure magic. Whereas on the Yamato and also on the Ava, the magazines are massive. They are huge, right? Here they are tiny. I don't know what sorcery this was on the blueprint on the drawing board, but that's unnatural, right? And it kind of adds to this Russian bias claim. So that is quite something that we have to talk about. So again, yeah, this is the problem. You angle the ship in, you are in your spawn, you come to a halt and you fire away. And what you're firing with, that is quite something. You have 9 406mm-50 B-37 naval guns in 3 triple turrets, 900 rounds of ammunition. You have a reload of 28.6 seconds, so nearly 19 rounds of ammunition in the air compared to only 17 for the Yamato. And yeah, you have as a stock round the SAP CBC round, pattern 1928, and mass velocity is 830 meters per second. And then you have at 10 kilometers still 487 millimeters of penetration, which for a SAP round is really high. But the bursting charge is 88 kilograms, and if you hit and penetrate, that's causing a lot of pain for whatever gets hit. That causes fire, that causes a lot of blast damage, that causes a lot of flooding if you hit on the waterline. This is basically one, if not the best stock rounds in the game for any battleship. This is quite evil. But I usually rely on the tier 1 upgrade, which is the 406mm AP CBC pattern 1928. And again, this is just a Soviet fever dream at its best. 830 meters per second mass velocity, and you have penetration that is just a couple of millimeters less at any distance and at any angle compared to the USS Alva's super heavy AP, which is 10% heavier. But don't you worry, because this is Soviet Russia, right? And so you don't have 12 kilograms of TNT in your AP like the Amagi, or 18 like the Alva, or 25 like the Yamato. No. You have nearly 40 kilograms of TNT, and this hits hard. This is quite dramatic if you shoot at enemies. And if you look closely at the kills, right, a lot of them, I hit them in the barbettes, I start a fire, and then they just explode before they extinguish the fire, or even a bit afterwards. It seems like those 40 kilograms of bursting charge deal so much damage. Now, that's basically it. So the ship has no radar, the ship has not really the greatest AA, the ship doesn't have particularly quick target acquisition, it's not really all that fast, right, with only, 52 kilometers per hour, but it doesn't really matter, right, because the armor keeps you alive, the guns keep firing, because the ammunition is buried below the waterline. Only the shell rooms are available, and they have not been hit either, and even they are below the waterline. And you have no ready rack in the barbette, so the barbette in theory can be hit over and over again, but you don't die from it unless you just let the fires rage. And the one little weakness that this ship seems to have, but I haven't confirmed it 100%, but it seems like it, is that this ship can die with 3 segments of the hull gone destroyed or gone black. I think the bow doesn't count as one actual segment in terms of this destruction, but other ships, they begin to drown with 4 segments. I'm still not a fan of this mechanic, but you get the idea. And so keep this ship under pressure. Take out its turrets. Concentrate on it. Focus fire on it. Keep the turrets burning. And it will go down. It's not fun. It kind of sucks the fun out of all the others ships having a good time, right? But that's the way. It's not indestructible, and it is really a good ship. I have to give it, like, when it comes to the essence of War Thunder, what you really want to do, firing big AP shells at your opponent, this is it, right? Yeah, you are basically essentially having the firepower of the Iowa, and that's quite something to achieve, right? With a lighter shell. So here I'm not quite sure how to end the video, right? Because the question is, in a clickbait fashion, is this ship the reason why the player numbers are already dwindling, why the queue times go up, why I have more and more bots in my team rotation or in my team composition and on the enemy team? I think when it comes to people not being as hyped anymore is that the ones that really were interested in their favorite ship, be it Iowa, Yamato, Bismarck, Roma, and so forth, they just paid for it, they had a go at it, they had to fight this thing, and I think it was a bit nerfed, to be honest, already in the first couple of days, because it seemed stronger in the first couple of days rather than yesterday and today. But that's just how it is, right? And we will see where the journey goes. But I think a lot of people were kind of not so impressed with their ship's performance. I think a lot of Japanese tears have rolled with the experience of the Yamato and its diamond-shaped front citadel in particular. But as far as this goes, this really sucks the fun out of it, because it's so easy, it's so forgivable, it's so beginner friendly, and to counter it, it's just not fun. I don't dare to say it's not fair because you can kill it, but just the way the facts arrange, the way that it literally plays out. Good God. I know that I'm advertising this ship a little bit with saying it like this for all the people that just want to play the best, and then I can say, look, this is really, really damn good. But what comes next? What comes after this? And do you really want to ruin the further experience in War Thunder for yourself, for everybody else? I think a lot of people are short-sighted like this, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to the discussion in the comment section. I think that the problem with this sort of project is the following. If you look at, for example, the German projects, right? They are just a continuation of ships that were actually built. If you have like the Bayern, the SMS Bayern, and you bring then in the SMS Sachsen as a project, it's a copy-paste ship. Nothing really more, right? If you have then the Gneisenau, it's also nothing that's really that outstanding. There is a sort of realism to it, right? You take the Scharnhorst and you put the Bismarck guns on it, and you have the Gneisenau. And also the Ersatzjörg, it's basically a different Bayern class, and so forth goes the stories. We also have for Italy the Francesco Caracciolo. It's not really that good. It's not game breaking, so nobody really minds. But with this ship, something that was just able to get everything because it hadn't to be built IRL, and then it is just so easy to play and so difficult to counter, where this leads to. And I'm feeling like I'm repeating myself over and over again. So I think, is this the right way to go? Gaijin had to add something for the Soviet nation if they decided to give the big names to every other nation. Because at its core, it's still a Russian game, right? And there is quite a bit of Russian player base, I guess. And overall, I don't mind that they add something for the Soviets. But this, because ultimately it was Gaijin's choice what to take over, to make the magazines that big, that small. And at the end of the day, it's the usual thing. I guess none of the devs really have played this out, and nobody had the player fun in mind or any sort of balance. it just kind of was designed, put in the game, and off to the next project, I guess. And that is a story that we have oh so often. And there is nothing further than I can add. So that was boring, even though it was the best match of the game. I didn't, I didn't drop sweat, nothing. It was just nobody even bothered to really shoot me, right? So this is what I mean with, yeah, sure, look at the results. Wow, damage kills. But was it really fun? Was it fun to watch? Is that fun to play for you? Because if this is what you have in mind with fun, you could go PvE. And that's it for me today. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video nonetheless. Please give it a like with it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And we'll see each other on the battlefields, in the skies, and on the waves of War Thunder.